Hey, it's Cordelia Educator. Hope you're really well. Today we are going to talk about showroom culture. I've noticed, and I think you've probably noticed as well, and if you're one of these parents, do forgive me, but I'm just here to be honest. I'm here to be real and be honest. So we have, as parents, we have this culture of creating a showroom home, and I'm going to talk to you about how this is actually impacting our child's education and ability to actually learn. So these showroom homes, these homes that look beautiful with lovely plush rugs, and they look like children don't even live in the homes, this is actually affecting, negatively impacting your child's education, and it's negatively impacting your child's growth. Okay, so these showroom homes, these beautiful homes that don't look like children live in there, that lack creativity, that are void of anything to do with children, that are simply there to look beautiful. They are not designed to nurture, to foster education, to inspire a child's imagination, to support a child to be creative. Our children are already innately creative. They want to learn. We are born ready to learn. We are eager to learn. We want to find out how things work. We want to put things together. We want to learn through trial and error. That's the nature of a human. But what we have done as parents, we are creating homes for our children to live in which do not foster creativity, which do not allow them to be imaginative, which do not support them to play and to learn through trial and error and to have a go at different things. And yes, I'm going to say it, to be a little bit messy. We're creating these homes for us, and we forget that we have these beautiful beings that need to discover and find out and try and be creative, because that's what will support our child to build strong brains. And in strong brains, I mean not only thinking laterally, not always thinking straightforward, let's get the answer, that's it, but also thinking creatively. If I don't quite know the answer, maybe I could try this, maybe this would work. Basically giving them a massive backpack of learning resources, which isn't just about math, science and English, but also creative learning resources which they can dip into when they need to, when it comes to test time, or sometimes when they're just trying to solve a simple problem. So as I said, our children, trust me, they all have the capacity and the capability to be successful in life. We are all born to be successful, all of us, but it requires nurturing. And if an environment isn't created to nurture a child, then what do you think would happen? We leave education solely up to schools, and there's nothing wrong with schools, and trust me, teachers work very hard. Okay, there's nothing wrong with schools, teachers work very hard, but they can only do so much. I always say to parents, try and do some type of learning, some type of education outside of school as well. Why? Because children are only getting so much from school. If you look at education holistically, if you look at what a child learns during the day, they do their maths, their science, their English, they might do something called curriculum innovation, they may do PE, and they might do arts and crafts. The teacher may be able to squeeze some time in to do a little bit of arts and crafts maybe once a week, that's it. Now we forget that creativity is the way to build strong brains, to build strong minds, to build resilient minds. And if we take this out of the curriculum, or if we take this out of children's lives, what we're doing is taking a fundamental element of learning, of building life skills out of a child's upbringing. So I think this video is more to encourage parents to not only think about how they want their home to look beautiful and to make it look show homey, but also if you have children, especially when you have young children, they need to be able to build resilience, to build strong minds by being creative, by being a little bit messy, by being able to put things together and take things apart and learn through trial and error. And this is the way, I strongly believe that this is how we can build strong learners, not just inside the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea about how I have always nurtured my children's education from a young age. So just little things like, we have kind of like a room dedicated, we don't really have a living room, it's a room dedicated to the children. So it has all of their toys out, It has all of their learning books. I mean, there's books up to the ceiling because they love reading. They're passionate readers. They've been passionate readers from a very young age. It doesn't have a TV in there. They have very little tablet or screen time. I believe that tablet or screen time is a requirement of today's day and age. Why? Because a lot of jobs are kind of going that way. But it's also important that children can sit down and read and enjoy the process of reading and enjoy getting a pencil out and enjoying art and crafts, and enjoy getting some Play-Doh out and being a bit messy and creating something with their hands. And enjoy cooking in the kitchen. Yes, it may be a little bit messy. We're going to have to spend more time cleaning up, but that is the nature of teaching children not only what they learn in the classroom, but really important life skills as well. So, as I said, a message to parents today. It's just a quick chat. As I said, if you always have, as I always say, if you always have any comments or anything like that, do post them in the comments section and let me know what you think about it. Do you have a show home, and have you kind of forgotten about the fact that you have a child to nurture and bring up? And has this video actually made you think about the environment in which your child is brought up in as well? Because if you think about a classroom has lots of desks. They're generally speaking, they're seated in rows, and there's not much creativity in a classroom. So they're at school for 6 hours a day, and then they come home and they come to a show home where you don't want them to be messy, you don't want them to be creative, you don't want them to get out or leave their toys around. It really does negatively impact how a child thinks, and it does actually impact how a child thinks about themselves as well. Oh, I don't want to be messy because I don't want to make mum and dad angry. Or I don't want to get my toys out because then they'll have to tidy them away. Or I don't want to get my Play-Doh out because it's really messy. I don't want to be creative, and it's best if I probably just sit on the couch and go onto my screens. This impacts how a child think, not only their learning, but how they think about themselves. So we have to be really careful about the environment that we create for our children and the environment that they are growing up in. When your child is younger, I would say they need more space to run around, more space to be creative, more space to jump around. They need to use their bodies and such, especially with the onset of childhood obesity as well. Sitting down for long periods of time is not good for a child, especially after they've been sitting down in school for a long period of time. So we have to create environments where they have the ability to do these things which they can't do at school as well. And then of course, as they get older, they probably need, because I've got 3 children. I've got a 4-year-old who's just recently turned 4. I've got an 8-year-old, and then I've got a 14-year-old, and they're all at completely different stages of their lives. My little one, my 4-year-old, he wants to run around, he wants to jump around, he wants to get out his Play-Doh, he loves to get messy, he loves to get all of his toys out at the same time. He's got into this thing where he likes to tie things together, which is really annoying for a parent, for me, because I see his toys and he's got like a skipping rope and he's tied them all together. But his thinking, maybe, I don't know what he's going to be in the future, but maybe that's something to do with what he wants to do in the future. Maybe he wants to go and be a doctor. Maybe he wants to go and be a zoologist. Maybe he wants to go and be an architect. But all of this creative thinking is helping him and supporting him later down the line as well. And my 8-year-old, she now needs a space to sit down and do her learning. And my 14-year-old, he needs his own space away from everybody else to think and to do his homework. And he's got, GCSEs coming up in a year or two as well. He needs space, quiet space to do this as well. So think about your child, what stage they are in their lives, and how we can foster and support them to be creative and have time for their learning as well. And how we can not only create a showroom home, but create a home and a space that fosters these children's ability to be creative, to think inside and outside of the box as well. That's my message for today. Remember, children they all have the capability, the capacity to be successful, but it needs nurturing from a young age as well. Don't leave it up to the schools. Do your best from home as well. It's Cordelia, the educator. I hope that video helps. See you on the next one.